Hello fellow freaks, geeks, and normies. Welcome to the first annual, super accurate, highly researched, totally based on personal experience, biggest disappointments of 2024. If you are new here, we already covered the Game of the Year nominees and winner of this year, so be sure to check that video out after this one if you're curious. If you have watched that video, then you already know 2 games that are on this list. If you haven't watched it, don't worry bruv, I got you. These are games that I'm 100% positive will release in 2024, and if they don't release in 2024, then you can come back to this video and comment about how my brain is so smooth that you confuse it with an egg. To lay out some ground rules or a guide, I will be limiting the list to 6 nominees. Remasters or remakes like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and The Last of Us Part 2 or Star Wars Dark Forces are not eligible. I will not be including any major DLCs or updates to games that have been released prior to 2024, such as Destiny 2's Final Shape or Fortnite's newest metaverse experience release thing. As the name of this list implies, being a disappointment means that there was some sort of expectation that some good would come out of it in the first place, which is why I never call myself a disappointment, only a failure. Just kidding, kinda. Anyway, before we get into the list, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell. And here we go. Disclaimer, I do not know how these games actually play, know any major story beats, know anything more than what is present in trailers and interviews that I've skimmed through, which is not many, and I will make completely baseless claims, present these baseless claims as fact, and use this list as a huge I told you so if these games release in the shape that I depict.
What are you suggesting, Elf? Stan has been acting strange ever since he thought his version of the rules were best.
To start us off, we have South Park Snow Day, developed by Question and published by THQ Nordic. As someone who is old enough to remember the premiere of South Park and had fond memories of staying up too late and sneakily watching it from when I was way too young, having this game be extremely mid is the definition of a disappointment to me. Why they decided to move to a 3D style game is beyond me. I mean, not actually. They probably did it because they wanted to differentiate themselves from Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole, but feeling that there was a quote-unquote need for that different art style is what's confusing. The game itself plays fine enough, but after a quarter of the way through, the gameplay loop just doesn't feel very engaging. Progressing through the story after that point feels more like a trudge through mud, mainly because the tasks that need to be done are unimaginative. Pair that with awkward cameras that make movement just ever so slightly jarring, and you've got the recipe for an experience you'll have to think twice about diving back in. The only saving grace are the quips and jokes throughout the playthrough, but at that point you may as well just watch another episode of South Park. I recommend the taco flavored kisses episode.
Lift your head.
Second up, we got The First Descendant, developed and published by Nexon. Man, I wanted to like this game so bad, mainly because they used one of my favorite Block Party songs in their gameplay reveal trailer, but it's just another looter shooter. The character designs are highly stylized and the weapons and armors look cool, but looks don't get you everything, only a few things, like setting high expectations only to become a disappointment. I'm not even joking when I say that missions will usually break down into go here, clear area, go there, clear area, take this, bring it there, boss fight. Wowee, we won. Time to go home. Not only that, but bosses are just bullet sponges with maybe 1 or 2 gimmicks to finally finish it off. Speaking of finish it off, I'm finished talking about this beautiful but basic bitch personality game.
We trusted you. Let you live among us. Now your friends are slaughtering the people they swore to protect.
Next, we have Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, developed by Rocksteady Studios and published by Warner Brothers Games. Finally, someone let this game out of its cage. But maybe it should have stayed in the cage. Never to be seen by the world. Although I myself do enjoy 2 to 3 live service games at any given time, I think that a non-competitive, non-MMO live service game is doomed to fail. Unless you're on mobile and have an anime art style, you're basically a fish. No, a shark out of water. Get it? Because of King Shark? Who brought the crickets in? Anyway, yeah, like that shark out of water, you'll die. And you're probably thinking, but Suicide Squad isn't live service. I know that, but it doesn't change the fact that they built the core of the game off of what a live service model should be, and it shows. If I were to guess, during their rework of the game, they didn't change much of the game mechanics, but instead focused on changing dialogue and story beats to create a proper cohesive story. That was the only thing that Rocksteady had full control over, and I think you'll find that the story and dialogue are the best thing about it. Unfortunately, you won't remember much after the credits roll, if you even get there. Now that we're halfway through, a word from our sponsor. Just kidding, I get like 10 views on these things, which is actually pretty cool. But I did want to interrupt to let you know that the dates for my annual 48-hour game-a-thon are set. I will be live on YouTube and Twitch February 9th through 11th, noon to noon Pacific Standard Time. That means 3 to 3 EST, 8 to 8 GMT, and 5 to 5 JST, to name a few. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell on the YouTube channel or go to my Twitch channel, link below, and follow. And now back to the hate. Next up, we have Skull and Bones, developed by Ubisoft Singapore and published by Ubisoft. Another game developed to be a live service money-making machine. The only reason why this game is a disappointment is because for whatever reason, people convinced themselves that this was going to be somewhat of a good game, just because it's now a household name in those gaming households. If you don't think this is going to be a bust, just imagine if Nintendo took one of the best mechanics from Mario Wonder and made not just a game, but a live service game around it. Sounds like complete dog shit, right? Well, that's what this game is. They took a fun part of Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, you know the one they released 10 years ago, and 7 Assassin's Creed games ago. Yeah, they took that and made it into a full game. Anyway, this is a disappointment because gameplay is stuck in 2013, the story is lacking and predictable, and they're asking for modern monetization. Let me think about it. Will I play it? No.
The Empire? They're everywhere.
Now we got Star Wars Outlaws, developed by Massive Entertainment and published by Ubisoft. Will this game hit the heights that Avatar Frontiers of Pandora hit late last year? The answer, in short, is yes. So why is this a disappointing entry? Well, because it's Star Wars. In order for this game not to be a disappointment is for it to be better than the Star Wars Jedi games, and it's not. It's like all the same things you've grown accustomed to in Ubisoft games and slapped a Star Wars reskin on it. This game doesn't even have an interesting gameplay loop like Guardians of the Galaxy, nor does it have exemplary dialogue to make up for the gameplay shortcoming. The story is good enough, but you've played this game before. The only way this game isn't a disappointment to you is if you're Star Wars pilled and think everything Star Wars is great, or you're okay with an average open world that doesn't innovate.
Of somber gray. You too want to be an immortal?
Last up, we have Black Myth Wukong, developed and published by Game Science. God damn it, I wanted this game to be good. Unfortunately, this game suffers from the classic case of overpromising and under-delivering. Just like the first Descendant, it looks gorgeous and aims to utilize and push Unreal 5 to a new standard, but instead, it suffers from frame rate drops and unintelligent AI when you're in stealth and in combat. The reason why games like Ghost of Tsushima are still talked about is because specifically the combat AI is fair and challenging at the same time. Somehow, Wukong hits both of these AI metrics just below average. The combat feels sluggish at times, and controlling your character and where aiming is just awkward enough to question whether or not you misinput or if you really did mean to do that. I do hope this game gets a sequel, so the devs give it another shot because you can tell they wanted to do so much more. And that's it for my first annual, super accurate, highly researched, totally based on personal experience, biggest disappointments of 2024. There is no grand winner, only a grand loser, which is us, the consumer. These games let us in their windowless van promising candy and ice cream, and what did we get? Shit. We got shit in our eyes, our mouth, our brain. It's everywhere. Anyway, if you like this exercise in lying, please feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below of what you feel like will be a disappointment to you this year. Gaming-wise, okay? Not life-wise. That can get depressing real quick. Don't forget to follow my Twitch where I'm live Monday evenings and Thursday through Saturday evenings. This is also a reminder that my 48-hour game-a-thon will be live on February 9th to 11th, noon to noon PST right here on this YouTube channel and on my Twitch. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll see y'all in the next one.